And welcome in our friend Jennifer Ashland. Man, we got big stuff happening with the San Antonio Race Reunion. By the way, Jennifer, good to see you on Saturday night. Thanks for coming out to Houston. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Rodney. Thank you. I had a blast out there. Honestly, I had a blast.
We need all the help we can get. So thank you so much, Jennifer. Before we talk about the reunion, talk about you. How did all this happen for you?
A few years back, I started helping out Cindy when she brought the reunion in, and I was a fan at San Antonio Speedway. I was following drivers back then and looking at standing on the other side of the fence line, watching Tommy Grimes and John Kelly and the Davidsons and, Romers and Mayberries. And, I'm watching all those drivers out there driving and racing, and then the track closes and nowhere else to go on a Saturday night. And I was over at Texas Dirt Speedway, and, Cindy brought the reunion back and had some fun and bringing these drivers back together. And this year she's a little busy and things just too much. And I said, I'm going to do it. I don't want to see this go away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I do have a full-time race schedule myself. I do race sport compacts out at I-37 Speedway. And I'm thankful for having a place local and still close to home to be able to race at.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jennifer, the one thing we've noticed over the years doing this show, when we bring in the Legend series and we bring in some of these old guys or more experienced gentlemen, if you will, the ones that we all remember when we were growing up, it's like they all have that same feeling like, oh, nobody wants to hear my stories. Nobody cares about me anymore. And it's like, dude, you don't understand. You don't have a clue as to how much you're being missed. And not only that, how much can you be introduced to this next generation of racers? They're the ones that don't necessarily know who you are, but they can be the next generation to inspire to be just like you. Talk about getting some of these legends involved in this event.
Bobby, it's been a challenge. I'm not going to lie. To get some people's interest out there, they're questioning, who is this person? I'm going to tell you first and foremost, nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows Jennifer Kidd before I was Jennifer Ashland. Some may remember I married Nathan Ashland, which spent many a days on that front stretch at San Antonio Speedway. So they'll see Nathan and they know Nathan a lot more than they do me. I've been trying to go around and talk to some of these drivers, make contact with some of these drivers, and tell them, I would love to have y'all there because this was my childhood. And this was my childhood that influenced me to start racing. You can still influence others to still continue in motorsports.
Yeah.
As far as bringing in the legends, some of our legends are still out there racing.
Yeah. I mean, they are. And I think that's one of the things like Bobby was talking about. You and I talked about this the other day, Saturday night, to where it's like, guys think that we don't want to hear those stories. But I think the other part of it where I think you have taken it to a different level, talk about the part, because it's not going to be so much about, and I think the format's going to be pretty loose, to where it's like things will be going on and, we're going to talk to drivers and do all these different things and hear their stories and all these different things. But a lot of this is to where what you're doing, you're taking it to a new level with scholarship stuff and all of that. Talk about that part, because we've got to get new blood into this, Jennifer. Otherwise it's going to dry up. You know what I mean? The track is gone. Pan American's gone. San Antonio's gone. Longhorn's gone. Corpus is gone. We got to keep this thing going.
And how do you keep that going other than trying to still continue to influence that youth group? We've invited some of the LSQMA members out. Would love to welcome out some of the Austin area QMA members to bring out their cars, have those kids come out, listen to these guys racing these stories, see the stories. I know, we talk about that. Some people don't want to see it, but we're going to have screens going of how fun racing is and was and still can be. I've brought together a race reunion, the first ever race reunion scholarship fund, that all of the proceeds from the event, whether it be from leftover money from the ticket sales, part of it's going to food and entertainment, leftover money from ticket sales, the shirt sales, we San Antonio Race Reunion shirts and memorabilia that is been so thankful. On demand shirts is handling that. From these funds from that, as well as the funds from, we're going to have a silent auction And if we have enough bigger items, we're going to actually do a raffle as well. All of those funds are going to be combined and broken down into 3 separate scholarship sponsorships from Race Reunion 2024. We're going to award those in 3 different age group brackets to the youth group of today that want to continue their racing. I'll announce later more information as far as how they can submit their information for entry into that. And that age group is going to be 7 and under, 8 to 12, and 13 to 17-year-olds. It's not going to be limited to just dirt track drivers right now. We have youth in dirt track drag strip. You just talked to a young man that has started out micros. I want to be able to further any youth in motorsports.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it takes, right? It takes a village to grow this, and it's not like, you know, we were all there, right? You never knew what you had until it's gone, right? You hear that all the time in country songs and in real life, but you never realized how good you had it when you had all the asphalt tracks. Now we've got the one track left in Houston that has issues of its own, which we're not going to get into here. But you know, there's so many people that it's an unsung responsibility that it takes a lot to get this stuff going. And I think it's great that you took it on to try to make it as special as it can be, just because, you know, back in the day, it wasn't just San Antonio and Pan American. You know, if you were a guy in Austin that raced both nights, you know, Friday nights in Austin, Saturday nights in San Antonio, Sundays in Corpus, you know, there's a lot of the Corpus guys that have connections to San Antonio. So in reality, yes, I get that it's a San Antonio race reunion, but it's also a hybrid race reunion of its own right, getting some of these older guys and the newer guys connected into the new thing. Talk about the aspect of expanding it out, not so much expanding it out. You know, you're not making it the South Texas race reunion, but you're trying to get an open invitation to all the guys that have connections to racing and so those in San Antonio.
Absolutely, Bobby. You know, many of these drivers that raced here, you just touched on it. They didn't just race at San Antonio Speedway. A lot of these drivers, they raced at CC Speedway. Just recently, and just today, I mean, I do research all day long trying to get more stuff together for the reunion. And, you know, I've kind of tossed it about and bringing in the CC Speedway videos, because there's a lot of videos that have CC Speedway, but has San Antonio Speedway drivers. And I mean, we're talking videos back from the 90s. And, you know, I'm hard to find the 80s stuff and earlier on, but I mean, we're working on it. I've been working to get some of the photos. I've been blessed with some of the photos from the Peters and putting all this together. But this is not just San Antonio Speedway's race reunion. This is San Antonio race reunion. I want to bring together drivers from all aspects. Dirt track, you know, some of our asphalt drivers have gone from asphalt and raced dirt and won championships on dirt now. Whereas, you know, they didn't at asphalt. And it's been a challenge. It is to get the interest out there, but I'm grateful for y'all to bring it on. We announced it down at South Texas Speedway when I was down there a few weeks back, and you know, that crowd was roaring for it. Mentioned a little bit of HMP. I was blessed, and you know, you touched on it. Asphalt's gone, and we have the one facility left. I like to say, we took the trip down this week not just to talk about the reunion, but to enjoy the racing. And Owen Pittman being, you know, an amazing promoter, to be able to put shows together, and then to be blessed with seeing that Terry Barden's still out there race directing, you know, and these people know how to put a show together. But you know what? I just want to plug this real quick. Drivers, if you don't show up to give the show, don't expect the people in the stands. And there were people in the stands, but not enough drivers out there. There was still a nice show, but I think the most cars out there was in the well, we used to call them legacies. Mm-hmm. But it was a great show, but drivers got to be there. You still got to show up, because you can't be complaining about a track not being there whenever you're not there.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I totally get that.
You brought Rodney's soapbox for that, Jennifer.
Yeah. I'm glad somebody else says it besides me and Bobby on here. So Jennifer, with the reunion, I mean, talk about that, because kind of the format's going to be, and I think one of the cool things that you're doing is, because you've got, I mean, you've had folks that are donating things and so forth and so on. but I think the really cool part of what you're doing is that you're doing the silent auction, because I think that so much of this night needs to be the drivers, the characters, whoever it's going to be that walks up and has a story and wants to talk about, and we're going to do the roll call of drivers. If you happen to be here and you race at Pan American or San Antonio or Corpus, whatever, let them talk. That silent auction, I think, is something, and tell people how to donate stuff, because I think that's something that can really generate some money in what you're trying to do right here.
So if you want to donate something to the silent auction, you can get a hold of me. Y'all can plug my phone number up here in a little bit. You send me a text message. I'm willing to meet to pick up any items. You can donate directly to the scholarship sponsorship fund if you'd like. We have been blessed right now with some amazing sponsors and donors right now. The facility itself is going to be, the race reunion Saturday, October 5th, 5 to 11. It's going to be at the Backyard Kitchen in Poteet, Texas. Backyard Kitchen, CNC Graphics, Cotton Bowl Speedway, 317 Awards, I-37 Speedway, HMP, Dennis Taylor, Mad Dog Racing, Fastlane Cupcakes, On Demand Shirts, Debbie and Roger Neer, Amy and Brad Hunt. They have all donated so far. And we've got a growing list. I've had people messaging me throughout today, just different items. And if you're interested, throwing in a piece of memorabilia, if you think you've got something laying around, whether, customized items, we have some customized items coming from Jennifer Jones and Mark Graff Racing, Opial Mechanical. So there's a lot. People are still getting in contact with me to donate. If you want to donate, you can also send a message over to San Antonio Race Reunion. But I prefer just kind of text me, and because that's the fastest way to get a response from me.
That's right. That number is right there on our screen.